Howdy folks, Ben Gregory here and welcome to another edition of the Halftime Offload. As always, I'm ably joined by Jack Singleton, aka Greg Benory. Jack, welcome to another episode.
Oh, it's good to be here. Just everything you are, I'm the opposite of. Opposite of everything, mate.
Well, I was here at the last episode and you weren't, so that probably makes sense.
Yeah, I shouldn't be here. One of us shouldn't. This room's big enough for both of us.
Nah, look, it's another cold, wet, very wet, windy day here in Sydney as we record this one ahead of upcoming final series from all of our junior
what do you call that? Daceyville number one? What do you call that?
I prefer to call that Lake Daceyville.
Lake Daceyville.
Yes.
It's a bit like Lake Aries. It fills up about every 7 years.
Yeah, well, it feels like it's been full for many, many weeks. And look, we have
bass, perch, bit of trout, bit of fly fishing.
Oh, I think there's certainly be some flounder out there.
I mean, that Murray cod's a very big fish, isn't it? They end up dominating the water hole. The bass, perch, if you put one Murray cod in, or multiple, you will end up with just one Murray cod.
So, bring us back to the rugby. Jack's already taken us down a rabbit hole or a fishing hole.
Water hole.
Water hole. So finals time across both some of our schools' associations. So ISA have their finals weekend coming up this weekend at Greg's. Had their semi-finals out at Bathurst last weekend. Quite cold, I'm told. And then Sydney Juniors got semi-final weekend this weekend.
But one thing I love about the SJRU semi-finals is the simplicity. I get very confused in the shoot shield, for instance, where the quarterfinals, three games. There's nothing quartery about a top six playing 3 games, but SJRU, that great 1v4, a great reward for coming first, and the 2v3.
So 1 and 2 get the host.
1 and 2 get the host.
If they choose to.
Or what if they don't choose to? They play at the...
Goes to the opposite team.
Who wouldn't choose to host?
Well, you never know. They mightn't have their grounds available for that weekend. They might. A lot of grounds share their field.
Well, if no grounds are available, what could we just switch it to a fishing tournament?
We could indeed. But if no grounds are available this weekend, it does bear poor tidings for numbers 3 and 4 because 1 and 2 would go through as the highest seed. So
harsh but fair.
We hope we get some footy this weekend. I know you're.
That of course is in the SJRU competition rules. So
I do like the way you say SJRU.
Yes, I learnt from the best. So no one should be overly surprised, disappointed, but that's the way it rolls.
So Friday night comp, Jack, which is your specialty over in the Randwick part of the world.
Yep, Friday night comp. I think we've I can't go without mentioning our very good friends at Easts who have given us access to Wallara number 1, the arguably the best synthetic field in the southern hemisphere, I believe.
Tate Field.
So we will be moving some Friday night SJRU competition semis to Wallara number 1. So thank you, Easts. Thank you, Graham, and we'll talk about the charity. We're putting on a charity boxing match.
Oh,
Graham Jackson, the East's president.
You versus Graham?
Yep. Six 3-minute rounds.
I would actually pay money to see that.
Oh, you will have to. Pay-per-view and a live event as well.
Okay, so we're streaming that on New South Wales Rugby TV?
I believe we are.
Okay, excellent. I look forward to that. So we've got the finals on Friday night. You're at Easts and Latham?
Easts, Wallara number 1, the synthetic, and also the synthetic at Latham.
Okay, so celebration of the plastic fields on Friday night, and then hopefully around Sydney across all the grades, 1v4, 2v3, and let's hope your fields are open. The weather forecast for today and tomorrow is not great, but for all those teams that are in the semi-finals, good luck. And then around the rest of the state, we've got some comps that are still finishing off their rounds. Others have already gone into final series. So some exciting time across our junior club rugby stuff.
Well, I know it, our good friends at Wagga, the Wagga Crows, they're unable to come to the Argentina game on the 13th of September because they've got their, I think it's Southern Inland, they've got their grand finals on that weekend of the 13th, 14th of September. So
a lot of our country zones tend to have their finals finish a little bit later than the metropolitan folk. Probably got more access to fields and manage to get some more rounds in. But obviously they lose some rounds during the year because when there's a rep carnival on, half their team might be in the Central North, Central West Hunter teams. And so it makes it very hard for them to play around when they're off doing whatever they may be doing in rep land.
Yep, I think the other, I know within the SJRU Opens comp, that's a slightly different format this year with the Northern and, or I don't want to say
Conference
Northern and Southern, the 1 and 2 conference system. I think that's a crossover. I think it's a 1v2, 2v1,
Yep.
3v4, 4v3, which I think might involve Kiama visiting Woi Woi for their semi.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I looked that one up on Google Maps. It's about 2 hours, 59 minutes in light traffic.
I'm sure some of our country cousins go, let's walk in the park.
Exactly. It's a good drive these days up the M1, M7. Yep, beautiful trip up to Woi Woi.
So moving on.
I was going to recommend a massage place in Woi Woi, but I won't.
Moving on across some of our schools rugby that's going on, and I know things like the Peninsula Cup up on Northern Beaches has been trying to play every Thursday, struggling with a bit of weather over the last couple. The Sydney Catholic Sevens has been rained out tomorrow already, so they've missed like 3 weeks in a row now with the weather, which has been damning. Chloe Dalton has had the same problem with some weather, so hopefully it all clears up and we get some rugby on the park, because it's been tough yards.
Actually, I know within the Sydney Coastal PWSA, the Primary School Sports Association, I think this will be the 3rd consecutive Friday that that PWSA rugby union's been washed out as well.
Yeah. And we also have with the final series, we also have some of the minis gala events that pop up every year, and the first coming up is the Duffsy Cup this Friday night,
which I believe is very similar to the Tiranui Cup.
Yeah, no, very similar.
Very similar.
I believe you may have copied it exactly.
But look, I think there's some syllables. Look, it might be like Bronte Surf Club and Bondi always fighting who came first. I don't think we need to get any arguments about Duffsy versus Tiranui Cup and like you use Roman numerals. I don't even know what they mean. But look, we don't want to get into a fight about which cup came first. They're both excellent tournaments. We've got record numbers for the Tiranui Cup, which is the preeminent under 9s playing under 10 rules, less the contested scrums.
Yeah, so next few weeks we're going to see all these come up. So Duffsy Cup 26 and 25 over the next 2 weeks, and then the Tiranui Cup number 3 or 4. After
we've used Greek numerals.
Oh, Greek numerals.
Greek numerals, yeah.
Del Alpha, Delta,
Greeks were much better at
Omega.
Mathematics, yeah. Let's not put a number on.
And then the Warringah Tiger Cup will come up in early September. Chatswood Challenge, usually on the same weekend. We've already had the King of the Hills. We've had the Harlequin Cup. So lots of stuff in the mini space, which these events that are sort of iconic and happen every year.
Canberra Sevens coming up.
Yep.
21st of September, I believe.
So good luck to all the teams that go and compete in those sort of things. Back in the school space, though, we've also got Waratah Shield coming up. For the boys, the quarterfinals are coming up. They're going to be at...
I haven't been following the Waratah Shield this year. Who have we still got in the quarters?
So quarterfinals this year, we don't know who the combined high school teams are, because they play their Buck and Shield on the day before the Waratah Shield. So they're 2 teams in the quarterfinals. We don't know yet. But what we do know, we have Hunter Valley Grammar. We have Chevalier coming out of ISA. We have Sydney Boys High coming out of GPS. Trying to think who the other ones off the top of my head. Said Hunter Valley Grammar. It will come back to me. I'm having a
Central Coast Grammar.
No, they are not. No. This year it's Chev coming out of ISA. Western Sydney. Just got to chase up Simon Kathamawai, who's feeding in the Western Sydney teams. So I will chase him up on those ones. But look, some really exciting time. Oh, Holy Cross College from the Catholics.
Okay.
Is the other one.
Ryde?
Yep, Holy Cross College from Ryde. It should be some. That's on September 3rd at Hunters Hill.
Okay.
So looking forward to that, and hopefully we get that streamed up on New South Wales Rugby TV.
Had a few glitches in the state champs on that.
Yes, there's been a few things we've been trying to work out, but we're getting there. Under 12 state champs went fine. But technology, sometimes it's not our friend.
No, it's not my forte, mate. You know my accounting method.
And I suppose looking forward to our senior guys. We've already had the winners of the women's final series gone through. Shoot Shields into semi-finals this weekend.
Yes, we've had the very confusing quarter-finals that involve 3 games, not 4. But through to the, I think, what have we got? Easts are playing
Eastwood
at North Sydney Oval.
Yeah, and Warringah Norths at Rat Park. And then Kentwell Cup last round this weekend before final series there. So
Colts semi-finals.
Lots of stuff happening.
A lot of Randwick in the Colts.
Randwick in the Colts. A lot of green there, I imagine. Warringah has done pretty well.
Some big scores in the quarterfinals.
So we shall see. And then, of course, the Wallabies' big win last weekend.
Yeah, well, I think we really should just, that's, as they said, the Wallabies may never lose again.
And there is the mock.
I mean, I must admit, I woke up, set my alarm for 2 a.m, messed up the time, looked at the halftime score, I went back to sleep. Don't tell anyone.
And next...
what a surprise. When I woke up, bit sort of, am I seeing right? Take the glasses off. I normally sleep in the glasses. And then I'd forgotten, but when I woke up, I actually took a screenshot because I'm looking at this going, is this like an old game from the 70s or 80s or... Unbelievable. I watched the replay. I watched it that night, relaxed, and I watched it again on Monday night. But we made it look easy.
Congratulations to our team. A sensational shot in the arm for rugby across the country. Now, on the show today, Jack, we've got our New South Wales Girls Coaches are coming in to talk to us about the 15s program and the games versus ACT and Victoria later in the year.
Well, I know the under-15s, Big Dom, he coaches my son at high school, so I don't think Dom's coming in today, but interesting to get the perspective on what it's like to coach boys versus girls versus boys. They're different.
They are indeed.
I've heard the girls can be a lot easier to coach, less ego.
Oh, well, we've got those guys coming in, and then we've got Mark Gasnier coming in to talk about tri-tag, non-contact version of the game.
Yeah, I think it is a very good game to watch, and I think I've seen with our minis within the Randwick district, touch can get them into some bad habits that are good for touch, but bad when they move to rugby. Tri-tag gets those habits formed about the ruck, and I think it's a better lead into rugby union than touch.
And our last segment on the show today will be a little bit of a quiz.
I'm good at quizzes. I'm very good at quizzes.
Our accounting partners, the Grassroots Rugby Reckon. So it'll be interesting to ask you a few financial questions, Jack. I know that is your forte.
My youngest son, who likes rugby and mathematics, and he came up with this. You probably know the answer. There are only 3 scores that are not possible for a team to get in rugby union. What are those 3 scores?
Well, 1-0 would have to be one of them.
Or no, like an individual team. There are only 3 scores an individual side cannot achieve in rugby union.
Well, 1, 2, 4?
1, 2, 4, yeah. Mathematical genius.
There we go.
You could. I needed a set of beer coasters to work that. Do you do that in your brain?
Sorry.
Wow. Really? You prepared that earlier.
Well, look, we get the Reckon guys, and we've got a representative from each of our affiliates to coming along to show us which is the smartest affiliate out of women's, shoot, subbies and juniors.
It's a good name, Reckon, isn't it?
It is.
It's a nice word, Reckon.
Maybe we should have called the segment, What Do You Reckon?
I reckon.
What do you reckon?
I reckon, yeah.
Anyway, that's what's on the show today, folks. We're going to take a break and we'll come back with a bit more.
Reckon.
Love being a Sparky. But mate, who's got the time to sort through finances after crawling through an attic full of possums? Not me. That's why I use Reckon. Reckon makes the stress of invoicing, payroll and tax time no dramas. It feels like she's my business partner. Except she doesn't steal all the good bickies.
Sorry, Gaza.
That's all right, Gaza. Reckon, made for every Australian small business.
Hey, Gaz, reckon I can get a drink out of that esky?
Yeah, go on.
Howdy, folks, and welcome back. Joining us now are a couple of special guests who are wonderful servants of New South Wales Junior Rugby Union. I've got Jack Bowditch and Benny Higgins here, who are both coaching a New South Wales girls 15 sides for us here this year.
Yep.
Welcome, gents.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
So, Jack, which team are you doing?
I've got the New South Wales Girls 16 side, and so this is my second year doing that team. So, we've got a very strong team this year. Good alchemy of girls from around the state. So, excited to see what we can do.
And Benny, you've got the 18s?
Yep.
2 years in a row, same coaching staff, ready to go.
So tell me, just for our viewers who, you guys, last year was our inaugural teams, and this year we're trying to create a little bit of consistency whilst we grow our state program. Just give us a bit of a précis from your view of how the pathway has grown and where we currently sit.
Yeah, well, personally, from me, the first thing I noticed this year when we were doing the selections, the depth of talent and I guess ability amongst the girls has grown incredibly just in 1 year, whether that's because they have a team that they're striving for or just whether it's they've gone back maybe from the development to their home areas and clubs and stuff and been able to develop their own players.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been really impressive to see.
Yeah, agreed. A lot of there's a bit turnover from our girls from last year, and all the new girls coming through have done nothing but be exceptional in what they do. Great class.
What's the? And I suppose actually we'll go back to the start of the part. Where do you guys start looking at them?
Well, for me, pretty much state champs is the first initial one that we'll look at them for. I guess that's probably the best place we get to see the whole player pool. Gives us the opportunity, I guess, to see any girls that may get missed out by the country or Sydney selectors so that we can sort of step in there and make sure that they're not forgotten about or missed.
Yep.
But yeah, it starts around that state champs region sort of thing. That's when we start making our sort of depth charts and whatnot, and then from there, it just sort of grows to the country city champs.
And same for you, Benny?
Yeah, essentially, but luckily we've got quite a few of the girls playing in the Premier Sydney Women's Competition.
Yep.
So I've been able to keep an eye on them from that kind of perspective as well.
So it's an interesting dynamic in the under-18 girls where we have a lot more of those girls playing in senior women's rugby than obviously Jack with the 16 girls. They're all still pretty much in the junior space.
Yep.
But the 18 girls, they've almost graduated, but they come back for reps. Is that sort of the landscape?
Yeah, to a certain extent, especially all the city-based girls. A lot of them are playing in Sydney, Uni, Manly and whatnot. And then when it comes to playing against these country girls, you can see the kind of disparity and the kind of what they're exposed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much the same.
I would think a lot of the country girls would be playing senior women's rugby just on the critical mass side of things. That there probably wouldn't be an under-18s comp to be able to be formed in a lot of the smaller towns who run teams. So those girls would inherently play in their senior women's team. I know my hometown there was a bunch of young girls last year playing for the senior women's team that went on and won the premiership, but they were still 17 at the time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty massive amongst the women rugby. I think the ability to be able to do that is is a lot more common. We actually have a few of our girls who were in the Hunter senior sides from 16s.
Yeah,
and they did incredibly well. Yeah, they were incredibly solid and developed massively from that. So, but there is obviously that happy medium of making sure that you don't push them past their abilities and also their physical capabilities. So.
And so you've gone through state championships. Next piece that you're looking at the girls was the nationals.
Yes, up at the sunny coast. So Benny and I both went up there with yourself, and that was probably a bit of a clearer picture of the level that they'll be competing at for us.
Yep.
So we'll be able to watch that. And it just sort of gave you a bit of a understanding of maybe the side that you wanted to look at first. And then when we came back down for those city country champs, girls were almost playing off for their spots on that day.
Yep.
So you sort of had a lot more decisions made earlier rather than later. So.
Yeah, I think that was class for our selection. I mean, just seen them play in their little teams already before the city and country, going into that weekend, not sure about you, but I had probably 70-80% of my team pretty much ready to go by then.
Yeah.
And just seeing them kind of fight for those last few spots at the end there.
So city country was the sort of final piece where you got to solidify your final view.
Yeah.
And I suppose work out who's injured and who's not.
Yeah, who's available.
Who's available.
Yeah, that's the other one. So.
And I think the effect that Clove Valley Eagles have got their first ever all-girls team in the under-7s, under-8s. And for them, looking at what the older girls are doing and something they can aspire to rather than previously you might have had 1, 2, maybe 3 girls playing in a mixed junior team, but have an all-girls team and then they look at what you guys are doing and girls are doing and realise they can keep going with rugby as far as they want to go. It's not just something they do when they're little and then go to a girls' sport. Rugby is a girls' sport.
Exactly that, and they have their own pathway to stick with, like you said, whereas before, they would start maybe early on, those ones who were passionate, and then as it got into the boys, they might have to leave, whereas if there's an all-girls team for them to be a part of, then that club can develop in their own way, like you said, so, yeah.
So we've been quite lucky for our second year in a row to be able to organise games against some of the other states, so 4th of October, 5th of October, down in Wagga, we're going to be playing ACT and Victorian teams. And last year we played Western Australia, and hopefully next year Queensland will be in the mix and we can get some sort of national competition for the girls at a provincial level. But the creation of Victoria, they run a 15s and an 18 side, Brumbies are 16s and 18s, so it created a little bit of a unique position for us where we've started an under 15s girls side where we don't really play an under 15s competition at any sort of level around our state. So tell us, Jack, that was probably more in your space when you're doing your selections to help Dom, who couldn't be with us today, who's the 15s coach. How did that selection process? It was quite unique.
Yeah, it was very unique. It was quite a funny one. Obviously, there were a lot of talented girls in both those age groups, 15s and 16s. So it sort of started back at state champs. We started to identify who were going to be the 15s and 16s girls by their date of birth. And then as the selection process went on, the main sort of idea was the 16 side was the first side per se. And then say if there was a 16s girl and a 15s girl and they were sort of on par, then I would take the 16s girl and we'd give the 15s girl to Dom just to create that development pathway so that we weren't taking away from someone who's there already. And I think it was quite a good thing for the girls to have a bit of as a backup so they weren't too disheartened. I think there were a few girls who may have been quite upset they didn't make the 16 side, but I think the fact that they've been put into that 15 side has kept them going, sweet, I want to be a part of New South Wales Rugby, I want to be a part of Rugby Union. It was quite unique, but it was also very exciting because it gave us a bit of an inclination for me what I have to work with next year as well. So it starts that process of identifying talent the year before you actually have to pick your side as well. So, yeah.
And it certainly gives girls who deserve a state jumper the opportunity. You don't have to make some of the harder decisions in deciding who gets one and who misses out.
Yeah, definitely.
You're lucky enough you can actually give two.
Exactly, and that was the beauty of it. We sort of tried to be as fair as possible, but at the same time you have to treat it as like it is an elite team to make, it is a representative side. So at the end of the day, most of the selections were made based on best player picked, but then as we went on, we obviously catered for the fact we wanted to have the best development group possible.
So 15s, 16s, pretty straightforward in the process, but Benny, you have a few more complications in the under 18 space with just the timing of the year, with Aussie Sevens, Santos festivals, Country 18 girls playing late September. There is I suppose it's a growing pain we have in growing the girls' representative pathway, but you've got a lot of other pieces in your puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we wanted to take the best 23, and then obviously through that, we're not the only team that wants to be taking out of that. Ribo's taken, I think, 6 of our girls into the Santos Festival, so they'll be going back and forth between that. And as you're right, I think we've got 2 girls involved in the Sevens. So it's a bit of a balancing act, but at the end of the day, the more exposure they get into high-level coaching and these opportunities to represent either their state or their country, happy days at the end of the day.
Yeah. And tell me, you touched on it earlier, these girls making these New South Wales teams, how have you seen the motivation for the ones that missed out last year? Have they come back stronger? And the ones that got in last year, has it benefited their game?
Yeah, from my point of view, it's seeing them really develop, especially the professionalism. I had a call the other night with one of the girls. She sent me a load of clips and we're FaceTiming and going through all the clips, and it's just that level of intent in their development and their buy-in, which has been really, really good, especially the girls who were involved last year and involved now. But it's also great to see so many girls who I haven't seen before getting involved in such a thing, who we then can progress and really get buy-in from them. But it's been huge, just the professionalism in general.
And both of you have coached boys and girls teams. What's the difference between coaching a boys team and a girls team?
Well, everyone always says that girls listen a lot better, and I didn't really understand that until I started coaching women. I think because there's an element that they're so willing to learn, and then there's also understanding that maybe they haven't been given the exposure that boys have growing up. But I always was quite hesitant to coach girls because I didn't understand whether I'd be quite good at it. But I find it very enjoyable, and I find that they respond to what you try and teach them very well. They're very they're emotional creatures, obviously, which is something you have to learn to deal with as a male coach. But I find that they're really great to work with, and they're really good young people who are trying to benefit the world in their own way and on the rugby field. So I really enjoy it.
Managing Colts as well at the moment. I find coaching boys is managing egos and expectations. Yeah. With coaching women, it's about empowering them in their belief in what they do.
And development.
And from someone who coached boys majority of his life to only coaching women probably the last 5 or 6, you feel that you're actually coaching women. Yeah. They want to get better. They ask you all the right questions. Absolutely. Just as I said, I had a phone call with one of the girls the other night. That's from someone who's been moved relatively new into a position, whereas I've been coaching the Colts for a year. I haven't had a single phone call.
And that's what you find funny.
It's just that level of professionalism and really eagerness to get better, but
willingness to learn.
Okay.
I mean, Dom, coaching 15s, he coached my son at school. I'd love to have a chat to Dom about how his 15 girls compared to the schoolboy 15s he coached.
Massively, yeah.
And I've seen Dom's interactions with the boys and the language. I've not seen Dom coaching the girls, but I'll have to come and watch him run a session, have a chat with him.
It's definitely a little bit of a shock the first few sessions you do, I feel. Like I was a bit, I was actually quite nervous. I didn't know whether I'd have the ability to. But then, as Ben sort of said, because they're so willing to learn, you do feel like you're coaching them. You don't feel like you're just managing a group of kids who think they want to be here, who already know the game because they've been taught so much or whatever. These girls generally come in and their eyes are locked in on you. They're not talking while you're talking. Like it's almost the picture perfect dream of coaching, and they respond to it and they grow with it. So it's
I think I might switch. I might give up coaching the boys under 12s and
go to the girls, under 12 girls.
So tell me, the girls' game being relatively new in this space that we're talking now at state level. Are you seeing any issues with selections when do you get complaints from parents where I've sort of probably put it akin to when the parents are having 12-year-old boys who are just starting off on a rep journey, and you get a lot of feedback from parents who think that Johnny should have been selected because he's going to be a future Waratah or Wallaby. Whereas the girls' selections are a bit later in life. Do we still have the same input from the parents?
I think it's a little less direct. But you definitely still have the same questions. Like there are a few selections that we made. Like we picked a girl who over someone who made it last year in our team. So then this year, the other girl developed really well. She played amazingly, and unfortunately the other one missed out. And that's a very hard decision to make for a girl at 16 years old. Like it's very easy to go the other way. But there's been a bit of that sort of, I guess, questioning, but it hasn't come, it's a bit different to the way the boys one is. The boys one, it's always, he should be this, why is he not that, blah, 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 blah. They get to an understanding with their daughters of, okay, well, if she's not here, how can I get her there? And so, I found they're a lot more responsive about how they can help their daughters, whereas a lot of boys that you coach, they already know what's best for them to develop. So, that's me personally.
No, and I agree, and it goes back to what I was saying around managing egos and expectations. I'm yet in this under 18 kind of world having to deal with a single parent. I had a coach blow up my phone after my selection, but the only thing I've had regarding not getting selected is one of the girls personally reached out to me asking why she didn't get selected. For me, that's massive. If a player is going to go out their own way, not have a parent get involved and ask me, what can I do better? I then brought her in for a school session on the Sunday just to get her better, because I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting.
Look, I know. Speaking with Country and Sydney, one thing that we probably could have done better in the 16s and 18 girls space, because they picked one team that went off to the Nationals, which was a brand new thing this year. Is that second tier team? We should have picked a Country A and a Sydney A team and take them to regionals and given more girls exposure?
Yeah, I think so now. Like I'd say it probably would have been a bit harder the last few years because the depth wouldn't have been there. But now, like you said, because there is that amount of talent, and especially since we are trying to grow it, like you said, with this, I guess, like these representative teams, it is important to get these girls playing at the same level as much as possible so that you don't miss out on some of the talent that may be getting snagged by other people.
And getting that bounce back ability as well.
Exactly, exactly that bounce back ability is very
And look, we've identified that, and we're going to put that into the regionals program next year. So there will be more, and a country have committed to a second under 14 girls team. So the depth is now there for us to expand these programs. And I suppose that brings me on to my last point. I suppose is we did lean on Jack a little bit and his selection protocols. We are going to announce very soon. It should be out by now, but unfortunately some things offshore have happened out of our control. But there will be a development 15 picked for the under 16 girls to tour next year. The tour was meant to be in the United States, but San Diego Legion has just merged with LA and formed the California Legion, and we don't know what that means for their junior pathway sides. So we're just waiting on some clarity there, but the plan is Easter next year for us to have an under-16 girls team tour America. If that falls through because of their merger or whatever, we'll go to Hong Kong or Japan. We will be announcing a side. So that will probably be announced on our next episode. So stay tuned, girls. That's something very exciting. And that's for the girls who missed out on Sydney and country and not in this New South Wales mix that we're talking now. It's those girls that missed out on Country A or Sydney A that we really want to develop and give them the shot to maybe sneak the positions off someone else next year.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, is that it gives it, like as you said, we created this depth. Now it's time to recognise the depth and develop it as much as we can, and especially around that 16 space. It's definitely given some of those girls who may have been a little upset they didn't make it or didn't even make the Sydney or countryside. Now they have this opportunity to know that they're still in the picture, they're still being looked at. So it's an exciting sort of prospect for next year, I think.
I do like one of the videos which has been put out by Sydney Juniors, was on actually a She Can Play video, website, which is run by Linda Hutton, and it was focused on Lola Harvison. And she spoke about missing out on a team a couple of years ago and how it motivated her.
Exactly.
I just thought it was such a... If you haven't seen it, jump on the socials and have a look at it. But Lola speaks really well about missing out on a team and how gutted she was, and it brought her back to work even harder. And now she's in the mix with the Aussie Sevens. She's in the mix for she's in the mix with New South Wales and whatever else, right? So really great piece of advice that, I put it akin to when I saw Andrew Kellaway say a sort of similar thing. He left school as a superstar and joined the Waratahs, and it was all hunky-dory. Then it all went asunder when he got some injuries and lost some form, and he came back and said, his ego might have been a part of his issue. He came back and just went overseas, came back and
found himself a lot more.
Great. Look, the way I can't tell it the way he tells it, but it's a wonderful story and a wonderful lesson to young players on that no one's bigger than the game. Yeah,
exactly. And I think at the end of the day, there's always another team to get picked for in your development pathway, which is now being proven. And the other thing is, people develop differently. You may have a good year, a bad year. It's not always going to be the way that it works. You may not play the way that a coach likes, and then the next year you play exactly how he likes. Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You just got to stick with it for as long as you can and keep working.
And so, gentlemen, without trying to steal your jobs away, when are we going to get some female coaches in?
That's in the pipeline actually at the moment. We'll try and see.
We need to start identifying some young female or old females. It doesn't matter, but some girls to get in and start taking these head coaching roles and really pushing the off-field female pathway as much as the on-field.
Yeah, because we do, as much as we are able to help and develop these young women, I do think there is that element for a space for a woman to be there to help them grow and feel comfortable and just be able to have those discussions maybe they don't have with us type thing. Any young coaches or older coaches out there who want to come down and help out, feel free.
Get involved.
Jack, could the coach of the Clovelly under-7s be up for it next year, you think?
Could be. Look, one final thing I'll say on girls rugby, or two things. I think one, if you're a boy, a young man, go and watch more girls rugby.
Yeah,
the under-14s, when we were at Dubbo last year, we went boys and girls both at the state champs. Ran with girls did significantly better than the boys, and the boys went and watched every game. And the boys weren't saying, "Oh, they're good at girls rugby." The boys are looking and going, "They're good rugby players."
Yeah, exactly.
And there were some of the tackling technique and the work at the ruck. To hear 14-year-old boys look at those girls and go, "They're good rugby players."
Yeah. And then that grows the boys' game as well. They go, "Well, now we've got to level up." If we're seeing that happen, so yeah, some of the boys were very surprised. I think as I said, the girls did better at the state champs. Watching them play, the boys are like, they're good rugby players.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here on the Halftime Offload. Good luck with your games against ACT and Vic in October. And thank you for everything you're doing for junior rugby and the girls' game.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.
This commercial break is brought to you by Posca. It's vegan free, it's vegan friendly. That means it contains no sausages, no rump steak, no pork chops. But it tastes like it does. Posca.
Okay, and joining us now, folks, we've got a special guest, Mark Gasnier. Gaz, you might know or heard his name from that other code, but Gaz has got a bit of a history in rugby, and he's created a product which rugby has grasped with both hands in TriTag. So, Gaz, welcome.
Thanks, Benny. Thanks for having me.
Mate, so look, before we start on TriTag, tell us a bit. People will know the Gasnier name from rugby league, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you've... tell us, what did you do in rugby when you came across?
Yeah, no, I went across. I was lucky enough to play in France for 2 years for Stade Francais, 2008 till kind of mid-2010. And I really enjoyed it. I really did. I still stay in contact with the guys now. They're good friends of mine. It was only my wife and I at the time. We had no kids. We were only engaged at the time. And it was 2 of the best years of my life. The rugby was really good in the summer. It was a bit crappy in the winter, obviously a lot of kicking and stuff, but the second year I really enjoyed it. I had a better knowledge of the game, a better understanding of my teammates, could speak the language, which helped. And you know, it was a good quality of rugby. Heineken Cup matches were really good. We were lucky that we were a good team. You know, I think we made the final the first year, and then we made the finals of the Heineken Cup the second year, and the French top 14 in the second year. So we had Link. Ewan McKenzie was my first coach. But no, nothing but good memories, Benny. It was a really good time.
And so you've taken that experience, and then I believe it was on a plane ride coming back to Australia where TriTag sort of became a thing?
Yeah, it's funny. Even in the league side of things, I always thought that the future of the contact sports was a non-contact game that replicated the core skills and the knowledge you needed to go into the contact space. So when I originally wrote the game TriTag, it was on the plane on the way home and sipping red wine in the comfort of business class, thanks to Stade Francais. But it was based on, when I originally started, it was based on transitioning from rugby league to rugby union. And then the core skills that were needed to do that. And then the game evolved with the testing and that, and we implemented a lot more of habits, you might want to call them, that need to become second nature in order to make you a better player. And so, you know, the concept is that you learn that in a space where if you're not comfortable with contact, you don't lose any of the development skills, you don't lose any knowledge. And then if and when you get the confidence and the physical side of things, then you can jump across to the contact. But the main thing is you're not lost to the game, and that's the main purpose of TriTag.
Oh, look, I think you make a wonderful point about the essential of having a non-contact version of our game, because we're all quite familiar with our minis, our juniors, our men's, our women's, our golden oldies. Non-contact is just another arm of every club in Australia.
Yeah, and it also appeals to a lot more. You think of why people play sport, and there's a multitude of reasons of why people play. And I think when you've got a non-contact product, it allows some of those other reasons for people playing to be better suited. So, you know, a good example is if I'm 40 and I still love rugby, I don't want to go get bashed, do I? You know, I don't necessarily want to play tackle. I got to go to work, or I'm a tradie and I got to get back on the tools. if I can play a non-contact game, still use all the same skill sets, have a beer with my mates afterwards or a soft drink or a water, then I'm happy. More importantly, I'm still involved in the club, I'm involved in the community, and I can have an influence over that community.
I mean, even if you are playing contact, I think there's a limit to how many contact minutes or hours you should be doing a week. So even at the highest level, you want a lot of games you can play that are not full contact.
Yeah, we've tried that, Jack. We've tried the Brumbies Academy. We tried. We utilised it as a fitness game. So again, you're still replicating those same skills. So for those that aren't familiar with the rules, you've got a time limit on. Well, first of all, you've got two side tags and one back tag. So when you get tagged with a side tag, you've basically got to place the ball behind you. Your attacking teammate's got to come and clean out the back tag to signal that you're cleaning out the ruck. You've got pillar and post defensively, but the time limit on that back tag creates the urgency to the breakdown. So in the high performance side of things, we made it 3 seconds. For the community game, it's 5 seconds. So if pillar and post don't get there before that back tag's cleaned out, then the tag count restarts. So that creates the urgency to the ruck, which emulates the same scenario as you'd get space-wise an opportunity, whether it be out wide or around the ruck. So yeah, there was some really good feedback to having in fitness games so that you can still replicate those same game-based scenarios without contact. Yeah, because it is hard as a coach to balance that these days.
So a lot of our minis around the country now are doing this in the 6s and 7s space. And Sydney Juniors piloted it last year for the first time very successfully. And for our older age groups, I suppose they're not as familiar yet, but I can attest that the first time I went and saw it live, I see the rugby in what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. It's sort of hard to describe, but once you see it, it sort of makes sense.
Yeah, it's obviously considered a leaguey, and I remember the first time going to a few clubs and a few schools, it was like, what's this bloody leaguey doing, bringing a game that when you try to explain to them on the phone, they don't fully understand. But the best thing, like yourself, was when they come and viewed it, they were like, I can't get it. You've got that urgency to the breakdown. You've got the similar scenarios. You're not learning bad habits. I mean, rugby's specialised. I know when I came across, in league, you're supporting the ball in the hope of an offload. You're not there to clean out the ruck, and those habits need to change. So you've got touch football, you've got Oztag that are reasonably prominent in Australia, whereas they're not taught to support the ball. Unless you're a support of the ball player and you want to get past, you're not there to clean out the breakdown. So, I did get caught out a few times when I jumped across from those habits. But that's why I say, if you can learn it from a young age, and we've got 6s with no back tag, 7s you introduce the back tag to start to emulate what's needed, and then 8s, hopefully they go to tackle, but if they don't, they can still stay and progress their game in the hope of jumping back across to the contact.
I know prior to try tag, my younger sons started with the two-handed touch in the 6s and 7s.
Yeah.
But if you're training them, coaching them to be very good at two-handed touch, that's got very little to do with rugby union. And you get them in these bad habits that are good at winning two-handed touch. Yeah. And then when they go into the 8s and they're playing, rugby union with, tackles and rucks, completely new skill set. Try tag gets them a little bit closer.
Yeah, and that was the hope of it again. And probably sometimes it takes a person that jumped across to be put in that situation of what actually works, because sometimes when you're born and bred into a game, like, say, for instance, myself with rugby league, you just assume people know certain things, whereas you can kind of never assume that. And it's been really good. Like, once I went out kind of country New South Wales first to do some test games. The Newport boys and the Rats boys were great in helping me trial different things and test it and refine it. And the feedback was really good. So I knew I was very confident in the model. I just had to get the game right. And touch wood, it's at a stage now where Benny's probably been the biggest advocate of it and implemented it into, he was the main instigator as to why it went into 6s and 7s. You could see the progression. He could see how it suited clubs. You could see how it kept people in the game. And now, hopefully, the progression is, if the demand's there for it, then it runs in parallel to the contact. And I think it's important, particularly for traditionalists, to understand it's never there to ostracise the contact. It's purely there to complement it. So that if you don't want to play contact, you've got somewhere to go. You're not going to soccer. You're not going to league. You're not going to AFL. So that's the purpose of it. And I think people are starting to understand that better now, because originally I think they probably thought, well, all right, you're trying to introduce non-contact to take over the non-contact space. Non-contact's never going to, well, in my opinion, have a broadcast deal and have, it's a different sort of, at this stage, it's a different sort of mindset playing the non-contact to the contact. So I don't think it's a threat to the contact. As I said, I think it's more of a complementary product.
And also a very good advertisement for business class, because if you were down the back of the bus on the
I would have been more worried about my legs being squashed.
You wouldn't have room. You wouldn't have a nice beer coast to the right. The idea on what airline?
It was Qantas. I always fly Qantas, but it was the funny thing. It was
so if anyone's going to send their athletes, send them Qantas.
Yeah.
Send them business class. You got the leg room. You got the nice beer coast.
Go red, not white.
Red's better for the
better for the brain.
Good. What variety of grape was it?
I would not have a clue. You're going beyond me now.
But we'll look into that. We'll look into that.
I think you can work out. He once had a career in advertising. Is there any try tag brought to you by Qantas?
Could it have been a Penfolds?
Here we go.
It might have been, actually. I don't know. It was too long ago. That was 2010.
Okay. How about I bring you two back to the back down to the planet? So the growth of the game from here, where's it going from here, right? So you've got it in the 6s and 7s across the country. I know Sydney Juniors are looking to bring it in the 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s space, particularly for the girls next year.
Yep.
I know New South Wales Juniors are going to run another state champs on the 8th of March next year.
Yep.
Is there a global plan for tri-tag?
Yeah, there definitely is. I think the good thing about Australia, A, I lived here, but B, Australia is the most competitive sports market in the world, particularly in the non-contact space. It's
and the best rugby team in the world.
Yeah. Well, now it is, isn't it? Yeah. Coming off the back of the Springboks game. So now that we've proven the model here, then yes, I definitely want to, because when you think about it again, and this is the hard thing to explain to people, it's not my game, you know what I mean? It's there to complement the tackle side of things. And ultimately, it's a world rugby game in a sense that you complement all the contact structures and pathways with the non-contact structure. And then you introduce a social element of participation as well, i.e., you could have a World Cup for non-contact. There is no reason why you can't. It just takes on a different approach compared to your traditional World Cup. So, yeah, that's definitely the goal. But I think the good thing is, Benny, I've handed it over to RA. They've got the licence now and through until the World Cup. And to be honest, not trying to throw you under the bus, but guys like yourself are the ones that have implemented it, see where it needs to be done into the pathways, and have run with it. So I've basically just taken a back step now and let you guys run with it. And I hope that it can serve the purpose that it was intended to.
Yeah, look, I suppose we'll taking that pass from you. We do have the state champs and pathway games, and look, for anyone that wants to come and watch what will be probably the highest junior tri-tag game of the year, we have our New South Wales under-14 teams are going to play the half-time game at the Wallabies versus Argentina on the September 13 at Allianz Stadium, which will be a hoot to have our first New South Wales teams in the under-14 boys space. We did pick some merit teams in the other age groups, but obviously it's a growth thing, and until the other states start picking teams, we don't really have anyone to play.
No, but it was
so in that age group at the RG game, what full field? How many?
So they'll go 9 on 9 full field, but we had 60 teams in the state champs. We had a father-son or mother-daughter competition. I jumped in there. It was fantastic. So again, guys like Benny have gone and introduced that pathway, and they selected 2 teams from that, and there's some real good kids in that. They obviously, a fair few of them play tackle as well, but yeah, I think you'll see a very skillful kind of, fingers crossed for the weather, but you'll see their footwork, you'll see their kick in,
and it's not just club rugby, mind you. This is schools as well. So we've got kids in the state team from Forestville High, Knox Grammar, Maryland, Oatley, Newport. There's club rugby and schools rugby in the mix, and they're all welcome to the state champs as well. It's open slather for anyone who wants to come and join. So
it's a good weekend.
Keep an eye on our socials for the nomination form for that, 8th of March next year. Hopefully our good friends at Oatley will put their hand up again to host, which they're just checking out their field availability. But should be another cracking event that you can get into your tri-tag, and places like Dural who are running big summer tri-tag comps.
Yep.
Have a place to send. Have a place to send their winning teams.
Yeah, no, exactly right. It's been fantastic. It was ironic that Oatley is where I grew up, so the Oatley Club were fantastic to host us out there, and there was an abundance of talent. That's the other thing. That's why I say you really want to try usher them into the contact because the skill set's amazing.
Gaz, mate, thank you for spending a little bit of time with us here at the Halftime Offload, and mate, good luck with everything you're up to.
No, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, all the best.
Folks, and welcome back. I've got an exciting new segment here on the show today. We're brought to us by our accounting partners here at New South Wales Rugby in Reckon. And Reckon are going to do a lot of work with a lot of our clubs, but don't listen to me about it. I'm going to let Lavu talk about Reckon and tell you exactly what they do.
Yeah, thanks, Benny. So, as Benny mentioned, my name is Lavu. I actually play for Randwick, but I'm also a business development manager at Reckon. And as you can see behind us, we've got the grassroots accounting. It's an initiative that Reckon sort of want to implement with all our, rugby clubs around New South Wales rugby. And, we do know a lot of rugby clubs are being run with Excel spreadsheets, and we think it'd be a bit much better if we move them to the cloud. And the cloud is online, by the way, mate. And yeah, we've got a lot of discounts, especially we have like a lifetime discount. We want to support our junior rugby clubs with, being partnered with Reckon. So yeah, there's a lot of good things coming with Reckon, mate.
So my limited understanding of accounting, and as you said, I'm not an accountant, but volunteers are out there doing all the things that they need to do to run their clubs, and as you said, most of them used to have them written on the back of an envelope or on an Excel spreadsheet. But all their banking, all their online processing, their sales, point of sale stuff at the canteen, all that sort of stuff comes into it.
Yes. Like the sort of goal with grassroots accounting is we want to try and limit the paperwork and losing certain financials like records and stuff. It's just a much better way that we feel it's easier to manage. If we have big accounting firms or small accounting firms implementing this, I don't see why the New South Wales rugby clubs can do that. And I think it'll benefit the clubs as well moving forward.
You made a really good point there about the continuity piece, because generally the treasurer of a club will move on, and then suddenly we lose a lot of that IP and a lot of that record keeping, which if you've got it all in an accounting software piece, you have those records online which can be passed on from one treasurer to the next.
Absolutely, but you only get the discount if you call me directly.
Okay,
so
that's all right.
So you got to call me. Look up Reckon and look up Lavu.
No, look, we will put up on the screen the contact information for our clubs, but there is an opportunity for all our clubs to go through Michael Flood, who has been out there working for a number of years with all our clubs on things such as accounting and constitutions and blah, blah, blah. So get in touch with us at New South Wales Rugby and we'll put you in contact with the lovely people at Reckon.
Now, excuse me, Ben, I'd like to do all my accounting on beer coasters. Is Reckon compatible with beer coasters? Can we put them in?
You know what? I'm so glad you said that. We got one of our developers here, so we'll take that feedback back to the HQ of Reckon.
Can you take the beer coasters?
Yes, you can.
Mate, I love this system.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we've got some representatives here from all our various affiliates. So I'll let everyone introduce themselves first, and then we're going to have a little bit of a quiz. So Lavu, you're Shoot Shield. Do you want to kick us off?
Well, play for Randwick, which is literally down the road, and I play for third and fourth grade, the lower grades, and our second grade is in the semi-finals this week against Eastwood and North Sydney. So get down and support the boys if you can. Cheers.
Okay.
Nice. Ben Higgins from New South Wales Juniors, currently at Manly, coaching the Colts and playing grade.
Harry Gripplis, playing for NSW, representing the notorious Subbies. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Georgia Moore from Sydney Women's Rugby, currently captain of Southern District Women's Rugby team.
Yeah, and of course we all know Jack, aka Greg Benory, so the way this quiz is going to work is our four panellists are going to buzz in using their affiliate, either Shoot, Subbies, Women's, Juniors, and Jack will give them his version of what the answer may be to the question, or they can come up with their own. I'm not sure whether Jack's will be correct or incorrect. I guess we'll wait and see. But there's a mixture of rugby and business questions here, folks, so why don't we start off and just see how this goes. So question number 1. When is the end of financial year?
Subbies.
Shoot.
Subbies.
I gave it a signal.
There's no buzzer.
No, I heard Subbies. I heard Subbies. I heard Subbies. Oh, no, Harry?
30th of June.
Jack, do you want to give us any other options?
Around Jesus' birthday.
Oh.
Harry, what do you want to go
I'm going
with?
to stay with mine.
Stay with yours. I'd stay with yours too. End of financial year is the 30th of June.
Well, that's news to me.
Okay. Which country is credited with inventing rugby union in the 19th century?
Shoot.
Shoot, it is.
Yeah, I did your problem. Yeah, sorry.
England, but I'd like to also ask Jack to get his answer as well.
Good idea.
Yes, it was actually the William Webb Ellis School of Soccer.
I'll go with Jack's answer.
Go with Jack's answer? Okay, and where is the William Webb Ellis School? Jack?
I have no idea.
Stick with your answer, Lava.
England. Oh, nice.
Well done. Okay. What is a BAS? B-A-S.
Shoot. I should know this.
I hope you do, Lava.
Business activity statement.
Okay, and what for us laymen, what is a business activity statement?
I would pass that one on to Jack.
Oh, you're going to give that to Jack, great.
Well, look, when you arrange your beer coasters, P&L, profit and loss, you've also got your balance sheet, and then you have 3 cups, schooner glasses, with a golf ball inside. You move them around. That's the general activity. And if you can win $5 on that, you pocket the $5. Taxman doesn't know about it.
That's good.
I don't know if we can go anywhere else. I think we've. You graduate.
Do I get a point for that?
You graduate the School of Business.
Thank you.
Okay. What is an ABN?
Juniors.
Oh, many.
Australian bank number. Business number. Australian business number.
How many chances do you want?
Lots of translation.
Oh,
man, you already had 3 opportunities.
He hasn't looked into anything. Jack, have you got anything special you want to add to that?
Australian Beer Coaster Network. It's a national network of people who use beer coasters for accounting. Normally we get it wrong, but we have fun getting to that position.
Benny, do you want to go with Jack's answer or stick with your own?
I might go with mine. It tends to involve a lot of beer coasters and alcohol.
There has been a lot of. There's been a theme, hasn't there?
Yeah.
I think I'll go with yours too. Well done. You are correct. What is the maximum number of points a team can score from a single try, including the conversion? Harry.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, you go.
7.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
Jack?
Depends which code, doesn't it? I mean, we were talking about try tag. We've got.
Let's just think we're with rugby union. 15 aside.
Rugby union maximum number of points in one try, including conversion. 14.
14.
Well, you got penalty tries and a few things.
Well, I was going to throw the whammy of the penalty try in there and just see if that changed your answer.
I'm pretty confident that I could put 14 points into Rugby Explorer.
Okay. Harry, are you going to take Jack's answer?
No.
No? What a surprise. Stick with 7?
Let's stick with 7.
Well done. Okay, which trophy is contested between Australia and New Zealand in the annual Rugby Union Series?
Oh, women's, yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you have it.
Bledisloe.
Bledisloe it is. I'm not even giving Jack an option for that one.
Did you say men's rugby or just rugby?
I didn't actually specify.
No.
Do you want to tell us what the women's one is?
I'd be interested to know what that is actually, yeah, myself.
Well, we should all know.
Well, we should.
I haven't got that specific beer coaster on me, but I'm embarrassed to say I do not know, but I will suggest, actually I'm pretty confident I do know, it's the Dame Jones Sutherland Shield. A big woman, an opera singer, played Loosehead, I believe, for Christchurch.
Right, does any of our panel want to dispute that?
That sounds pretty on the money for me.
Yeah, I got no idea.
Yeah.
Take that one.
I cannot tell the difference between the reality and the BS. So let's
I'll
move.
take the 14 points.
You get the point. You get the point. Okay, how much is GST?
10%. Well, subbies.
Okay, Harry.
10%.
You happy with your answer? Do you want to go to Jack?
Well,
Jack,
yeah. I've got a view
You're
on
the
that.
last one, right?
So Jack, when you buy your beer, how much is the GST?
Well, it's a bit like John Hewson with the birthday cake. If I was to brew the beer myself from raw ingredients, there would be no GST on that beer. If I'm buying the beer in a pub or a bottle shop and value has been added to it, then that would be 10% GST. But you can avoid GST. I've got other tips on avoiding tax in general, but you can avoid GST by brewing your own beer GST free. So the answer could be 0.
Okay, Harry. Not sure you know who John Hewson is.
I'm going to take... He did say 10%.
He did say 10%? Okay,
10%.
That's your answer, and 10% is correct. Okay, we might have to get on some harder questions because they've been pretty easy questions. Okay, what percentage of businesses in Australia are small businesses?
Shoot. 97 to 98%.
That's a big number.
Small businesses?
What percentage of businesses in Australia are small businesses?
Jack.
I'm glad you came to me on that one. Increasingly, most businesses, due to the economic climate, are actually becoming smaller. So I would say 100% of businesses are either small or have the potential to become smaller if they don't use Reckon. 100% of businesses, 100% of businesses that use Beer Coaster accounting, they are going down.
Wow.
I want to go with Jack's answer.
Go with Jack's answer? Well, you probably should have stuck with your original answer because 97 to 98% is the exact answer, but I like where he's going.
Yeah, but he mentioned Reckon, so that's
He did indeed. He did indeed. Okay, who holds the record for the most test caps for the Wallabies?
Subbies.
I'll give you a chance. You go.
Harry?
Slips, isn't it?
Slips?
Well, if you ask David Campese, the answer is David Campese.
Okay, it's not what I've got written here, but you sticking with Slips?
I'm sticking with Slips.
James Slipper, 147 caps. Well done, Harry. What is a two-part question? What was the halftime score and the final score, Wallabies v South Africa, from the weekend?
Shoot.
Okay.
22-0 halftime and then 38-22, was it?
Subbies.
Harry's got something.
22-5 at halftime. 38-22 full time.
I love it. I've got to give Harry the points. Peachy just scored before half-time.
Oh, yeah, he did too.
Okay. Now, Jack's already ruined one of my questions about which English schoolboy famously picked up the ball and started running with it.
I don't think I ruined it. I think I just gave everyone a little...
Okay. What is the maximum number of employees a small business can have?
Shoot. 20 or less.
Jack, you've just told us every business in Australia is a small business. Or
has the potential to become a small business unless they use Reckon. So, given that there are 24 stubbies in a case of beer, I will say 24.
Love it. What are you sticking with yourself?
I'm going to give it to Reckon again because he said Reckon. I got to give him an answer.
Stop listening to him. 20.
I think it's 20 or less.
20 or less is the correct number.
What do you do with the other 4 beers? You've got a case of you're a small business.
That's GST.
Carry them off.
Oh, right, they go on tax. Hoist them off to the ATO.
Yeah.
What is an NFP?
Shoot. Do you want a chance?
No.
Go on, think about it.
If it was MFP, I'd get it, not NFP.
Think of the
National, no.
Well, how about love it? Why don't we give all 3 of them a crack at it?
Yeah, go on.
NFP.
NFP. Jack, you can start with, because you're very knowledgeable, obviously.
Well, I do know this one. I've actually got a PhD in FP. It's National Football Points, which is a cross-code tipping system. You earn the points and spend them on things like beer coasters, NFP, National Football Points. And that is 100% correct.
Okay.
Very legit.
Okay, I like this question. Georgia, do you want to give us an answer?
I think he's correct with like the national part, but I just don't know what the other 2 stand.
Well, it'd have to be footy.
Footy. National.
Oh, Harry's, hang on.
Harry's got it.
Did anyone just see a light bulb above Harry's head?
Yeah, I think the
Harry's got
answer's here.
What is
Non-for-profit.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's a very good one. I thought National Finance Program. That doesn't sound anywhere near
He's
nice.
from he's way off.
Great, no,
What are we sticking with? Are we sticking with Harry's answer? Or are we going with Jack's footy point system?
What was your one?
It's a
National
national football points.
football point.
Yeah. It's a very good system.
Don't listen to Jack.
No,
And it has nothing to
A
do
not
with
for profit, Harry. Well done.
Hey.
Nice.
10 points to subbies. Okay, this another finance question. What is the maximum amount of money your business can make before you have to register for GST? Now, this is a really important question for a lot of our clubs out there, which are so really important question. We can't get this one wrong.
Juniors,
Righto, Benny.
50,000 a year.
Okay, I'm gonna open it up to the floor.
I could be completely wrong.
I reckon it's somewhere around that. Yeah, 20 to 50, I think. Something like that.
Okay.
I would say, isn't it when you get taxed, it's like 18? Around 18?
No, Jack. Obviously, you know this.
Well, look, if you're running cash through the canteen, it's an unlimited amount. cash canteen, where they catch you is rego fees and online merch sales.
We're not helping our clubs at all here right now with these answers. Lavu, can you correct our people, please?
I hope I'm right, but I think it's 75,000.
Okay, so if your business has a GST turnover of 75,000 or more, or 150 if you're an NFP, which we now know is a not-for-profit, you must register for GST.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is why it's important to get on the cloud and accounting software so you can manage.
100%.
Especially rugby clubs that are growing rapidly. It's
Or use the beer coaster
There you go.
accounting method and then just burn the beer coasters in the barbecue.
Now, the next question I'm going to ask you is a little bit contentious because I think the answer they've given me is not quite 100% correct. Mm-hmm. Which country hosted and won the first ever Rugby World Cup in 1987?
Shoot.
Mm.
New Zealand?
I do know this one.
Oh,
I know all of them, sorry.
Okay.
I really know this one.
Lavu said New Zealand. What are you going to give us?
I believe it was hosted, joint hosting by Australia and New Zealand.
I would concur.
Because I remember when the final was played in 87. The All Blacks won. I think they beat France down at Concord. But it was a joint hosting.
It was indeed. It was indeed. Well done. Okay, 2 more questions. You're doing very well, folks. What is an STP?
I'll let the floor answer this one. I'll start this one.
Not getting many quick beeps here, so I think this one might have stumped. An STP.
By the way, Reckon Accounting, Grassroots Accounting, does STP, by the way. So
there we go.
It's an accounting question, boys and girls.
Juniors.
Okay.
Standard STP, wasn't it?
STP.
Standard tax preparation.
You're using some buzzwords there, but you're not correct. You're not correct. I'm pretty sure STP used to be a brand of oil. That's harking back to F1 days when I was growing up. Any thoughts there, Jack? And help our panel, any?
Well, I thought I had one, but I put some peroxide on it and she's all clear.
Okay. Anything, Harry or Georgia?
No.
Or we'll go to Lavu.
Stumped.
Lavu, give us the answer.
Single touch payroll.
Single touch payroll. An ATO system where employers report employees' payroll information directly to the ATO.
Yes. So
And Reckon does that?
we do that with our new cloud flagship product. It's called Reckon One. It's one of the features that we have on there, and yeah.
Excellent. And the last question for the Brains Trust here. What is the superannuation guarantee rate currently in 2025 pre-1st of July?
Sub?
None of you check your pay.
Subby? Is it 11%?
Okay, so we've got an 11% from subbies. Jack, how much do you obviously get paid in beer, but yeah.
Beer and a bit of cash under the table, but Oh, because as much as you can get to my answer.
As much as you can get. Superannuation, Benny, it might be a bit confusing to a man coming from the other side of the world.
I haven't lived there long enough to really check my super. I want to say 15.
Okay.
What did you say? 10?
I said 11.
11. I'm going to go 12.
Okay, well, Georgia, if it was after the 1st of July, you would be correct. But before the 1st of July, it was?
What Harry said.
Ooh. And a half.
And a half.
11 and a half.
You should have been in the middle.
Oh gosh, yeah.
There you go. Folks, thank you for coming and having a bit of fun with us. Reckon, great product out there to help our clubs. This grassroots program that they're running is really important. If you want to learn more about it, please contact us. We'll put you in touch with Lavu and the Reckon people, or Flirty can put you in touch when he's dealing with clubs on all the admin stuff that they do. But thank you very much for coming and supporting us here at the Halftime Offload.
Thanks, Benny.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Well done. And folks, that's about it for the day. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Halftime Offload. Hopefully this weather clears up and we get some rugby out in the park this weekend. Jack, thank you for joining us as always.
Oh, it's great to be here. I don't know if it's cleared up much out there. Murray cod, bass. I think if it goes any further east, it will join the sea. We could get an influx of eels, which I believe go to Vanuatu to lay their eggs.
Right.
The elders will return to the place their parents spawned from.
So for those interested in keeping up with Jack's weather forecasts, you can go to his own personal podcast, jacksweather.com. And
AKA, if a fish could swim, call it off.
there
Call
we
it
go.
off.
Anyway, folks, remember, punt high and follow through.
Reckon.